Hello, Evanex Gaming here, and we're doing something different today. I usually do gaming content, and reviews on the occasion, but we're talking about football today. Dun, 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 dun. So, we're in week 15, and the playoffs are coming soon, but we don't know who's going to be in the playoffs. Yeah, by the way, Chargers glasses, and as you can tell, Seahawks hat. Pretty cool. I also have a ton of other football hats, but I like Seahawks, who we'll be talking about. But for this video, I'll be going over NFL teams in the playoffs, NFL teams out of the playoffs, who I think is going to go Super Bowl, and just stats. First off, who's not going to be in the Super Bowl? This has been established, as you can see. And teams that won't be in the Super Bowl are Jets. Yeah, you saw the paper. I wrote it down. But yeah, teams that can't be in the playoffs at all, like eliminated, are the Jets, the Jaguars, the Bengals, the Chargers, the Texans, the Falcons, the Broncos, the Panthers, the Lions, the Patriots, and the 49ers. It's crazy how 49ers went from being Super Bowl contenders to now being eliminated from the playoffs. And now let's talk about that for a second. Why are they out of the playoffs? Well, the answer is pretty clear. They're out of the playoffs because they lost all their best players. How'd they lose them? Did they lose them to COVID? Did they lose them to trades? Nope. They lost them to injury. They lost Garoppolo, they lost Nick Bosa, they lost George Kittle, they lost Richard Sherman, I think. They lost the best players on their team to injury. Their best players. Not the backups, not a lonely linebacker. Their best players. Starting QB, their superstar tight end, gone. And that really cost them, and the price paid was playoff contention. The Jets, they finally won a game. They beat the Rams, who we'll also be talking about. The Jets are 1-13, and they just won. They won 23-20. And they gave up their first draft pick. So the Jaguars are probably going to get Trevor Lawrence now of Clemson, the best football college. Can't argue facts. But now let's talk about teams that have clinched the playoffs. For one, Steelers and Packers. Even though first off, the Steelers have been throwing games. It's actually really obvious. They lost the last 3 games after being undefeated. I'll come some slack for losing the first one, because, they're not on their A game. Upsets happen. It happens. It's alright. They couldn't go undefeated. This society, whatever, it happens. I can excuse it. Washington has the best rookie defensive player in Chase Young, who scored so far, I think, against 49ers in week 14. Yeah, that's correct. Chase Young's amazing. But, they lost. It happens. Big upset. No big deal. Then they lose to the Bills. That leaves you shook. They're like, huh? How'd that happen? And you know what? I'm going to excuse that as well, because Bills, they got a great quarterback. They got a receiver with the 3rd most leading receiving yards in Stephon Diggs. He's either 3rd or 4th. Yeah, he's 3rd in receiving yards. So he's doing really well. So their offense is really good. Their defense is really good. I'll excuse it. But the Bengals. That was on Monday. Come on now. It's the goddamn Bengals. Not only were they bad before, but they lost their star QB. Even though their new QB or backup has proven to be fatal. They lost Joe Burrow. I mean, Bernard played pretty good this week. Can't lie. He's an OG. But they lost the Bengals, who are out of the playoffs. And you know what? That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. The Packers are a lock in the playoffs. They got a really good team. They got Aaron Rodgers, an OG, Devontae Adams coming up out of nowhere, Aaron Jones. Just really solid team, like top offense. But, can they win the Super Bowl? We'll talk about that. Then we have the Chiefs. They're a lock. Top 3 offense in the league. Viable defense. Just a great team overall. They're going 13-1. So they're right now the best team in the AFC, and I believe the best team in the NFL. Only one loss that boggles my mind. And these are the lesser teams. Seahawks, Bills, and Saints, they can be locks as well because of how they're doing. Seahawks represent. They've got a solid offense, solid defense, and they can probably clinch wild card. Saints, I think, are also a divisional team. Packers and Chiefs are guaranteed divisional, no doubt about it. But I think Saints can clutch the second spot. And then Bills, they are 11-3, just like the Steelers. And now, let's see who can be in the playoffs. I've set up a bracket. It's on this sheet of paper. Can't really see because it's transparent. But I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. They will represent the AFC, and the Rams will represent the NFC. Hold the phone. The Los Angeles Rams, the team with Aaron Donald, the team that lost to the Jets just a couple days ago, how can they make the playoffs? Or how can they make the Super Bowl, let alone the playoffs, when losing easy wins? We'll get to that. For wild card in the NFC is pretty easy. You gotta have one in every division. So I believe it's gonna be Washington that takes that NFC East. No, they're not putting up, or none of the teams are putting up. If they win every other game, the rest of their games this season, in the regular season, they only go 8-8. And they have the least amount of losses. So even if these other teams win the rest of their games in the NFC East, they still won't have enough to qualify because they all have 9 losses. Unless the Washington team messes up and loses the rest of the games. Then it'll be between Cowboys and Giants. And that'll be fun to watch. It will be. For NFC West, we already discussed this. Seahawks. NFC North, we already discussed this. Packers. Then South, we already discussed it. Saints. Wait a minute. Washington, Bucks, Saints, and Packers. There's still 2 spots left. Those, I believe, will go to the Rams and Seahawks. Wait, what? Why would it go to Rams? The Cardinals are way better. And it'll go to the Rams because of their superb defense. They got Aaron Donald, best defensive player out of everyone. They got Jalen Ramsey, one of the best defensive / cornerbacks in the NFL. They beat the Seahawks. They've proved viable against the best receivers. And if they can beat the Packers and the Seahawks again, I think they can put up a good fight against the Chiefs. Now, we all saw Super Bowl 53. They only scored 3 points. That's kind of sad. But they were against the Patriots. Tom Brady era. That was probably one of the worst Super Bowls of all time, if we're being honest. But we're not here to talk about Super Bowl 53. We're here to talk about the playoffs this year and Super Bowl 55. And let's talk about the Super Bowl teams. Before that, let's do AFC playoffs. This one was so much more difficult. This one took me half an hour at least to conspire. So we got our locks, Chiefs and Steelers. They get divisional. Then we got Bills. We determined that leaves 3 spots left. And this is where it gets tricky. We look at Browns. They're 10-4. Then we look at AFC South. The Titans and Colts are also 10-4. Need one every division. It can't be Texans. It can't be Jaguars. So we already know that. But what if the Colts and Titans win their games? Same deal with Browns and Dolphins. Dolphins go 11-5. Browns go 12-4. Colts and Titans go 12-4. I determined that the last 3 spots go Browns, Titans, and Colts, but given what's been going on the Steelers as of late, they'll go 11-5. Think about it. They threw last game. They could have beaten the Bengals. What do they got? They got no defense. The Steelers have T.J. Watt and other players. And they got Big Ben Roethlisberger. Come on now. They got the best line receivers. They got Juju Smith-Schuster. They've got Chase Claypool. They've got superstars. But they're throwing. I think if they grind and keep on winning, then go 13-3, lock it, 12-4, maybe lock it. We'll see. Now let's talk about the robbed teams. The ones that should have been there. The Dolphins. The Dolphins have been doing really well this season compared to other seasons. They got Tua, they had Ryan Fitzpatrick for a little bit, and they got options. Thing is, they lost to the Broncos, they've lost to other teams. They just haven't been putting up. And if they win the rest of their games, they only do 11-5. So, it's not anything special. Now we go to the Cardinals. This is so controversial. I love it. Cardinals got Boo Baker, who was fast, but Metcalf was faster. They got Kyler Murray. They've got good offense, but they've got they're going 8-6 compared Rams 9-5. And also, do you really think that there will be 3 teams from the NFC West in the playoffs? Oh, you do? Well, sucks to be you then. Because there's no way. There's no way. And now, if we look at, they're the only team that could try and clinch it by going 10-6. They win every single game for the rest of their regular season. But all Rams have to do is win 2 more, or at least 1 more, and they get The Vikings they could have done it. I'm telling you, they could have done it. But for some reason they didn't want to go playoffs. They got the offense for it. I think they have the defense for it. But whatever happened, and now odds of them going to the playoffs are super, super slim. Let's talk about the Chiefs for a minute, though. They've got Patrick Mahomes, one of the strongest QBs in the league, having a very consistent performance with passing rating, I believe. Yeah, passing rating of 110.6, 4,462 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions. That's pretty impressive. He's also got great passing options, such as Travis Kelce, who's got the second highest receiving yards behind DeAndre Hopkins. And he has 10 touchdowns this season, which may not be a lot, but he's also got to share some ball time with Tyreek Hill, and he has 98 receptions with an average yards per game, I believe. I don't know, that's gray area. Or, like, yards per game with 13.4. I think it's yards per play. I don't know. Overall, he's very reliable, and when you need that deep threat, always can count on him. Speaking of another deep threat, you got Tyreek Hill with 1,211 receiving yards, 83 receptions, with an average of 14.6 yards per game, or game, whichever one. Even though he has lower receiving yards and receptions than Kelce, he still got 15 touchdowns, which is 5 more than Kelce. So, overall, I believe they can make the Super Bowl again and dominate. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. Then we have the Seahawks. Russell Wilson never missed the playoffs in his entire career, which is actually crazy. He's off the charts right now, having great passing options, as in DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. He had number 10, I forget his name, but he had him, and has 3,806 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, but 13 interceptions. Overall, top tier quarterback, and if he keeps grinding, who knows, he can be top 10 of all time. Then we got DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is a motherfucking monster. I don't know how he does it. He's great on offense. This is his second year, by the way. Remember that. Second year. He proves he's got offense and defense after taking on Buda Baker in week 7. Even shaking the internet by how crazy it was. He also has the 4th most receiving yards with 1,223 yards, 74 receptions, and 10 touchdowns. This is his second year in NFL, remember, and by his 5th or 6th year, he can have up to like 10,000 yards, which seems unrealistic, but who knows. He's just an amazing player. Then we have the Packers. Are they flops or Super Bowl winners? Look, I know I didn't say that they'd make Super Bowl, but Rodgers is ranked number 2 in Week 15, behind Mahomes. He has 40 touchdowns with only 4 interceptions. He's got great passing options and running options, and I think he can do well. And if he does well this season, I think they can maybe win the Super Bowl if they keep up the good work. And you know what? Many teams can go Super Bowl. You know what? Evan X Gaming out. Have a great day. Happy holidays if I don't upload again. Keep it real. Go NFL. Go Seahawks. Let's kick it. See you guys.